Picture this. You're sitting in a meeting, watching someone half your age command the room while you're invisible in the corner. They don't have the title, the experience. They've cracked the code of leadership communication. The most powerful leaders I know aren't always the ones with corner offices. They're the ones who walk into any room and instantly shift the energy. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how they do it, and how you can too, or even the technical knowledge you have. But somehow, I'll give you 8 specific strategies that will transform how people perceive and respond to you. These aren't feel-good tips. They're psychological triggers that actually work. Count how many times you use weak phrases like kind of, maybe, or I guess, and re-record it, replacing every weak phrase with a strong one. The difference will shock you. Everyone's hanging on their every word. What's their secret? When someone asks you a question, pause for 2 seconds before answering. When someone challenges you, don't defend immediately. Mirror their concern, then bridge to your perspective. This does 3 things. It shows you're thoughtful, it creates anticipation, and it gives you control of the conversation's rhythm. Here's how I see us managing that risk. This disarms resistance and makes people more receptive to your ideas. Here's what nobody tells you about leadership. It's not about your business card. It's about your voice. They never rush to respond. They pause, consider, then deliver their answer with intention. In the next 8 minutes, strategy 1. Kill the question marks. You're positioning yourself as someone who moves things forward, not someone who just points out what's broken. Stop turning statements into questions. You know what I mean? That upward inflection that makes everything sound uncertain, instead of, I think maybe we should try this approach, when things go wrong. They don't deny reality, they reframe it. Leaders ask questions to guide thinking. There's a massive difference. Choose the version that opens up possibilities rather than shutting them down. You'll notice people lean in and pay closer attention to what you say next. The same situation can be a disaster or an opportunity, depending on how you frame it. Leaders consistently choose the frame that empowers action. Here's what I learned and how I'll prevent it next time. It's a leadership superpower that most people never develop. Say, here's what I recommend we do. Your brain might resist this because it feels aggressive. It's not. Confidence isn't about being right all the time. It's about owning your perspective completely. Here's a 30-second exercise. Record yourself explaining any idea. Strategy 2. The power pause. Within 2 months, people will start responding to you differently. If you choose the power pause, pause before every response. If you choose solution architecture, never mention a problem without offering a solution. They won't be able to explain why. They'll just know something has changed. Your brain will tell you you're being pushy or arrogant. Ignore it. That's just your old programming trying to keep you small. Leaders don't fill silence. They use it. Watch any CEO interview. Try this tomorrow. In your next 3 conversations, deliberately pause before responding to any question. Strategy 3. The mirror and bridge. I read every single comment, and I'll be rooting for your success. This is how you handle disagreement without creating enemies. I understand you're worried about the timeline. That's a valid concern. Stop waiting for permission to lead. Start talking like the leader you already are. You're not agreeing with them, but you're acknowledging their viewpoint before presenting yours. The magic phrase is, I hear you saying their concern, and here's another way to look at it. Strategy 4. Become the solution architect. Leaders don't just point out problems, they architect solutions. Every time you identify an issue, immediately follow with a potential path forward. Instead of, this isn't working, say this isn't working. Here are 3 ways we could fix it. Even if your solutions aren't perfect. The rule is simple. Never bring a problem without bringing at least one potential solution. Strategy 5. The strategic question. Most people ask questions to get information. Instead of, what do you think? Ask, what would success look like for you in this situation? Instead of, any concerns? Ask, what's the biggest risk we haven't discussed yet? These questions don't just gather information, they direct attention to what matters most. You're not just participating in the conversation, you're steering it. Strategy 6. Reframe the narrative. Leaders control the story. Instead of, we're behind schedule, say, we're learning faster than expected, which means our final result will be stronger. This isn't spin, it's perspective. Practice this. Take any current challenge in your life and write down 3 different ways to describe it. Strategy 7. The ownership advantage. Here is counterintuitive advice. Take responsibility for things that aren't entirely your fault. It sounds crazy, but it's incredibly powerful. When a project fails, instead of explaining why it wasn't your fault, say, I take responsibility for this outcome. People expect defensiveness. When you give ownership instead, you immediately stand out as someone with integrity and emotional maturity. Strategy 8. Paint the vision. Every conversation should connect to something bigger. Leaders don't just assign tasks. They connect tasks to purposes. Instead of, we need to finish this by Friday, say, finishing this by Friday keeps us on track to launch the product that's going to change how our customers work. People don't get excited about deadlines. They get excited about being part of something meaningful. Your job is to help them see the connection. Here's the truth. These strategies feel uncomfortable at first. Start with one strategy. Practice it for a week until it feels natural, then add another. Your challenge for this week. Pick one strategy and use it in every conversation. Drop a comment below and tell me which strategy you're committing to practice. Remember, leadership isn't about having followers. It's about having influence. And influence starts with how you communicate.